effort plays, like all those things that you're doing that's not necessarily touching the ball, I feel like he harps on more. So like if you're not doing that, I feel like he could get upset at that.
He talks a lot about effort.
Yes. So I feel like if you're not doing that, I feel like he might get on you, but that's also like you should be doing that regardless if you're a competitor.
And have you ever gotten on his bad side because of effort?
I don't think I have. I try to harp on myself too, like holding myself to that standard of always just going all out. Every point is an opportunity, so using that even in practice.
Is this potentially the best team that you've ever played on?
I'm really excited, yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll find out this year.
Okay. And you don't think there's anything such as having too much talent, right?
No, I think that's just also a good problem to have. Craig always talks about like it's so good when it's so hard for the head coach to make decisions on playing time. So we're doing our job every day in the gym to make it so hard for him to make that big time decision. So making sure like we're pushing everyone to get better and just fighting to like get our role that we want this year.
Well, good luck to you. Kill it.
Thank
Literally
you.
Kill
yes,
it.
Thank you.
You got your championship rings back in June. What was that
Yes.
like as a reward for the hard work you guys put in last year, but also kind of the unfinished business aspect of it, of what's to come this year?
Yeah, it's always really cool and such a cool opportunity to get those because not a lot of people get those in the country. So it definitely was kind of like when we saw that we got that big ring for runner-up, it was like, dang it, like imagine if we actually would have won it. So using that to our advantage this year because we definitely want it to say something different next year. So yeah, it's always really cool, but definitely having that in the back of our mind going into this year.
For you personally, back-to-back years, All-American, what's next for you? Like, how do you go into this upcoming season saying, like, I've accomplished basically all I could as an individual, but what's next?
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the individual accolades. Definitely want the team to go all the way to the Final Four again and hopefully win that national championship. But making sure we're just also going one game at a time because it is a team sport. So like I'm not the only one out there. Yes, I've had some awards in the past, but that's not just like on myself. Like I've had amazing setters, amazing passers getting them the ball. So truly is a team effort all the time. But yeah, just like wanting to accomplish more of a team thing this year.
What can you say about the schedule and just another unbelievably loaded slate that Craig put together?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be my 4th year with this crazy schedule, so nothing much of a surprise to me, but I honestly like it. I take it as an opportunity to just learn early on in the season of what you need to work on and what you need to get better at because it helps you down the road and when you get into the tournament.
How about the two kind of unique ones with Wrigley Field in the Bahamas? What's that going to be like?
Yeah, I think that's just a cool way to just face adversity because Wrigley Field, you're outside. You don't know what that's going to entail. I've never played indoor outside before. So using that to just be better than the other team on that given day. And also the Bahamas, just like using that as just such a crazy opportunity for the sport of volleyball as a whole and just definitely being grateful that we're in that position.
Molly brought up Mama. What is your new teammate Mama? What does she bring to the table?
Morgan, yes. She just brings a different level. Like she just is one of those players that you just want to have on your side of the court at all times because she is so fearless at the net and she just touches an insane height. Like she's tall, but she also just works really hard to like work the edges of the block. So it definitely is helping me like get better when I'm going against her because you have to or she's just gonna score every time. So I'm super excited for her to be on my side of the court and just like hopefully that we can push each other to get better this year.
Do you know where that nickname came from? Because Molly didn't seem to remember.
I don't remember. She came in and Morgan, like usually 2 syllables is pretty long in our gym, so I don't know who came up with that, but she like doesn't like Morg, which is like a typical like Morgan nickname, but I don't know who came up with that, but that was like pretty much like first week here we came up with that.
What are you seeing from Kassie so far during this offseason, and what expectations do you have for her this year?
Yeah, I'm just super proud of how hard she's worked. sometimes you guys don't get to see what she does outside of like media and like the camera, but she's just one of the hardest workers on the team and has truly worked like not only from like a skill standpoint, but also like a conditioning standpoint. Like she does not want to be last in anything that we do, whether that's summer workouts or just in the gym. So she's just made tremendous strides and just like getting the ball in the perfect spot for the hitter. Like you can just tell a big difference from like freshman year Kassie to like going into sophomore year, which is really cool because she was so good last year, and going into this year she just wants to make sure that she can do everything she can to make her hitters in the best place possible.
So far, what are you thinking that the similarities and differences are from last season to this season? Because I know both had really big expectations, and now more than ever, because you guys have 4 ABCA National Player of the Year watch list. So what are those expectations, and just how have you seen last year and this year differ?
I think just the depth that we have this year has definitely been an opportunity for everybody in their position group to get better, because you have there's like 5 outsides, so everybody's working to push the next person to get even better, and that just goes across the whole board in every position group. So I think that's definitely helped us, but also like last year we lost a couple pieces going into this year, but I think we've done a good job of replacing those. Obviously you can't replace people, but you can definitely try to fill gaps and just make everyone feel comfortable to be themselves.
You and I have talked about this, that your rehab and that you played all last season with the torn meniscus. You had surgery right after the season, and then you've gone through rehab. How are you feeling now, and how has practice been going for you?
You saw today I wasn't in my leg sleeve, so that's definitely been fun. I feel the best that I've ever had since having the injury. I can officially jump without any pain, which was definitely not the case last year. But yeah, just like shout out to all the trainers and even coaches that have worked through it with me, because we definitely took our time with it, because sometimes you can get back in like a month, but I think it took me a couple months to get back, just because in the spring you're not really trying to fight to get back for anything. So definitely feel really good about it and kind of feel like myself again.
Like you're just talking to Morgan, what's it been like adding her to this team?
She has such a big personality. Like, she has meshed in with the team so well already, and she literally is like, every time she walks in the training room, everyone's screaming, "Morgan!" Well, okay, I call her Mama. Don't know if you've heard it. Really weird. I don't even know how it came about, but that's just what happens. But she just has such like an infectious energy and love for all of us, and same goes for her. So I feel like anytime she just walks in a room, she just lights it up and everyone's screaming at her. And yeah, she's been great. Fit in very well, and obviously incredible on the court. So I feel like just both of those combined, she's been amazing.
Kentucky volleyball has not been flying under the radar for like years at this point, but I think especially this season, with as far as you went last year, 4 players on the ABCA preseason watch list. I mean, all of the attention is back on you guys. Yeah. What does that do for an off season?
I feel like we do a really good job in Craig of trying not to think too much about like the preseason polls, the media, just like all of the pizzazz and stuff that we could be getting. So I feel like we do a really good job of kind of keeping that in the back of our mind, obviously, because it does kind of light that fire under us that we have so many targets behind our back. But I feel like we kind of do a good job of just trying to stray away from those and think more about just like what we're doing and taking it every day by day.
Obviously, you all lost a couple people from last year's team. You added some freshmen, a couple transfers, but the core of this team is so similar to last year's, and your coaching staff has stayed the same. What has that consistency done for you especially?
I feel like last year we had such a big thing of like playing with joy and playing for each other and just the love that we shared, and that's bled immediately into this season. So like immediately as we had everyone, we also gained Bryn and just all those transfers. As soon as the summer hit, it was just like together again, and we were just like the same team almost. Obviously there's so many new personalities and stuff, but that joy and love and like determination that we have to play for not only ourselves but other people is still there. So I think that really just, it's only going to get better because we have those same values. So I feel like that's super important for us this year.
Yeah, you mentioned the freshmen. There are a lot of freshmen on this team. Yes. Don't take us the wrong way. You were a lot more nervous then than doing this today.
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah.
Have you had any advice for them, not just with media stuff, but before the season starts in general? What would you tell those freshmen?
Ooh, That's a good question. Well, I will say they are completely opposite from me. Very loud personalities, not afraid to talk. Well, maybe Bria's getting out of her shell a little bit, but I feel like just be yourself. Like, don't be afraid to lead even if you are a freshman. I feel like that was something that I struggled with a lot, was just like trying to use my voice, even though I was like, didn't want to talk. It was a little shy freshman, but I feel like just be yourself and don't be afraid to use your voice, even if you are a freshman.
The schedule is insane, again, as it always is.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you even surprised by that at this point, or you know it's coming?
Knew it was coming. I mean, he never fails to surprise us. I was not expecting Wrigley Field, the Bahamas, all of those amazing opportunities that we have this year, but he does it again every year. Hard schedule, but I mean, it works out for us, and it only pushes us to be better in the end. So I love it personally. It's a challenge for sure, but we all love it.
A lot of those teams, a lot of those really highly ranked teams especially, are teams that have something against you guys. Teams that had their season ended last year, etc. How do you go into games when that might be their mentality more than it could be yours?
Whew, I'm not sure because I haven't been through that yet, but I feel like just coming at it with the same intensity that we would have if it was roles reversed. Like, we have to understand that they're coming at us with that fire, so we're going to have to give it right back, and if not even more, to beat them in those situations. So it's almost like the mindset of like knowing that they're going to come out as hard as they can and us doing the same.
You got your championship rings back in June. What was that like, and how much of that is unfinished business, knowing, like, let's finish the job this time around?
I mean, again, talking with all the seniors, like, it's just kind of lit a fire under us to finish that this year, but both of those rings that we got are actually insane, and it's just a surreal feeling that we even made it that far. But there is that like underlying like feeling of I really want to finish it this year. So
you got to get him a new shirt.
I know. I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
Gosh, I didn't realize. Okay,
I'm ready for it. It's been a long time, half a decade old. That Louisville match on ABC. What does that mean to you to have the local game on national television?
I feel like that's always such a strong rivalry. So competitive, so scrappy, so chippy, and we're chirping at each other through the net, staring people down. But it's always such a great environment. Louisville fans, our fans, just like it's such a deep rivalry that I personally didn't even understand because I'm not from Louisville or Lex, obviously, but it's just so strong. So just playing for all the people that were before us and who are from Kentucky, who have that strong opinion on that, it's just always such a fun game.
How quickly did you learn?
Probably 0.1 of the first time I ever played Louisville my freshman year. It was like, all right, we're doing this rivalry, you better get at it. So
you played them in the spring this year.
Yes.
What did you all learn from that you worked on over the summer?
I honestly don't remember much from the spring.
Yeah.
But
a while ago.
I would say just like fitting all the new pieces that we got. We obviously had Morgan and then Sydney and Belle in the spring, but we didn't have Brandon, we didn't have Grayson, Bria, Caroline. So we had a little bit of that, like trying to figure out those pieces and putting them all together, and then now we have more. So I feel like it was just more of trying to figure out everyone's roles and how everyone works together.
Coach Skinner sent me a few videos of film from practices yesterday. I think it was like 7:45, and he was already in his office watching film. And I mean, you talk about all of the things that he does for the sport, which are already over the top. I mean, you saw his T-shirt. He was asking us the other day what he should do, what the best approach was, and we were laughing about that. But no, I mean, I like cherish getting to play for him so much and like appreciate all he does for us in the sport and everything here, and he really loves it, and you can tell, and he really pours as much as he can into us each day with life and school and volleyball and family and just everything. And it's not just volleyball, he cares about us in so many ways, and it's so clear. So
What did you learn the most this summer? What was your days out? What was your biggest takeaway from your days out?
Yeah, I mean, I think that volleyball specifically, and with us, we had a lot of fun being able to go and lift hard and have a lot of fun just with our strength coaches and within the 17 of us. I mean, over the summer we're only allowed to work with our athletic trainer and our strength coach, and so being able to do that, and then we would go and compete in the gym, play sixes, do reps, just the 17 of us. Yeah. We weren't allowed to have any coaches and stuff, so being able to see like
pretty much, obviously any given day, some people have classes or different meetings or stuff like that. There were 3 or 4 of us doing an internship, me being one of them, so there was a few of us who were not always able to consistently be there, but every single day you had, or leaving early or whatever it may have been, but we had 15 to 17 girls there every single day to get reps, and that is something that I know, being a part of many teams, that's not something that you can take for granted. And so to see all 17 of us want to have that same, passion for wanting to be in the gym. And then I got an opportunity to do an internship and a bunch of different things outside of here, so I was really busy, but it was a lot of fun and it was a really good summer, and I'm excited to be back into the routine of school and everything like
No, that's
that.
good, but I was specifically talking about the Lizzie Carr day off.
Oh, Lizzie Carr's day off.
Yeah.
Well,
What did you learn there? What was the...
that I'm really competitive.
Yes.
Maybe I didn't already know that. Yeah, and that my golf game needs some help. The rest of them, I feel like I was like pretty serviceable. We maybe have a few more coming, so we're gonna work on that. But yeah, golf needs some help. That's the first one.
You looked incredibly comfortable at the end of last year. You're playing your best volleyball. For you heading into this year, what would be a key personally to a fast start this season?
Yeah, I think continuing to work on like being up in transition, being available for our offense as much as I possibly can, helps me personally, but then also helps our team and what we're able to do, fill multiple gaps, run me a medium, all of that type of stuff. And then other than that, just as you said, with that confidence, being able to like trust myself and carry that confidence over, and just not let there be a lapse of that, I don't know, literally just confidence of who I am and what I can do and what I can accomplish, and know that all of my teammates trust me to do that, and just be able to play kind of right where we left off, instead of feeling like I need to teach myself that I can do it again, if that makes sense. So just being able to kind of carry last season over into this season, and then just ride off of our teammates and play with that confidence.
What excites you about the middle position group this year for you guys?
I mean, we're deep. Grayson is not taking any lapses in learning since getting here, and so I think that's really cool. I think the middle position is a very difficult position to transfer from level to level, so I think that's really cool to see her be able to do that. And Kennedy's grown so much as a player from last year to this year. I think she's going to surprise people in how much she's grown. I think that we'll have a really big opportunity to be very involved in the offense in a lot of different ways, maybe more than people probably even expect. And then I just think that we're working really, really, really hard to touch as many balls as we can when we're blocking, and so I think that that's something that people should expect and be ready for. Is we're not gonna just do, I don't know, kind of let it go or just be lackadaisical in that aspect of things. So.
Got your championship rings back in June. What did that feel like, and how much of that was almost, we have unfinished business going into this upcoming year to not get a runner-up ring but get the national championship ring?
So we got the ring that was from the Final Four. We were all like, oh my gosh, this better not say runner-ups on it. That's gonna really hurt. It said national finalists, so that was way better than seeing a ring that said runner-up. But no, it definitely was like salt in the wound, a little bit of like, okay, well, this would be way better if this said national championship. So yeah, so I mean, surreal moment to be able to get those rings and see those. I mean, they're so cool and so amazing that we were able to get to. So thankful for our program to being able to do that for us. And one of them is like smaller, more of an everyday ring, which I think is really fun, because some of the girls have mentioned that you get those rings and then you just kind of don't really touch them except for media day.
Yeah.
So the gold ring from the Final Four is a massive ring. You probably won't catch me wearing that on the daily, but the other one is really cool and I love it, and they're awesome. So definitely surreal moment, but as you said, a little bit of salt in the wound, getting us ready for wanting something more next year.
No, I think, every team is different, so I think that's something that he loves, and that's something that I love too. I mean, as a player, you get to play with different people every single year, and so just finding that drive every single year, and seeing him from long ways away, and now here, and now I get to play for him. So it's super cool just being a player in that situation, being able to play for a coach that I've been looking up to for a long time.
And what does it mean to have that kind of advocate for the sport that you're playing for right here every day you're seeing?
No, it's great. You always want a coach that has that sort of drive and wants that for your players and wants that for the program. And so it's been awesome just to be able to play under him. And, he's a great coach. And so look forward to it every single day.
Appreciate you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cassie, what do you feel like you learned about yourself as a person last year and as a volleyball player in your freshman year?
Yeah. I think in a person, just, coming out on the court, finding a different way to lead, being younger Craig always says, it doesn't matter your age on the court. So just going out there, using my voice still, not being afraid, playing with confidence, and then, sorry, what was the second part?
Just as a volleyball player, too.
Okay, yeah. I think just finding different ways to orchestrate the offense. Everything gets bigger when you get to college, and so just finding those ways, decision-making has been huge. Just who are you going to set in this moment? What are the block matchups on the other side of the net? And who am I going to set up to put the ball away?
How does some of the games that you guys had to play down the stretch of last season prepare you mentally for just the gauntlet of games at the beginning of this season?
Yeah. I'll use the SEC tournament, for example. We played 3 games back to back to back. It's a grind. So I think kind of knowing that and using the preseason and two-a-days and all those practices, those prepare us so much for the season. And so not trying to get caught up in oh my gosh, I'm tired, this and that. No, this is what's going to help us and motivate us when we get into that game time later in the season.
And I guess lastly for me, when you think, your coach mentioned put a ton of time and work in you, particularly in the off season, to just improve heading into your sophomore year. Were there some particular areas of your game that coming off of last year you really felt like I need to improve in?
Yeah, for sure. I think just speed in general, just direction, movements. I wanted to be a little bit faster on the court, and so that was something that I worked on in the off season. And then also just doing better in my defense. I think stepping up defense is huge as a setter. Every team wants to try to get them out of system. So if I can put up a good ball and we can have Tuozzo running the offense with tempo, I think that would be huge for us.
Last fall, you were in a battle for the setter job. Could you have imagined how it would pan out with everything that happened as the season went on?
Yeah, no, not at all. It was definitely a huge dream come true, but I think it was just a bunch of hard work that went into it. I mean, every day was a grind, and it still is. And so, last year was amazing, but I think going into this year, just continuing to push every single day will be super important.
How can you take what happened last season, and you were essentially the quarterback of the team? Mm-hmm. Now you've got that year of experience under your belt. How does that help you going into this season?
Yeah, I think just using that, I kind of know what it's like now, and so being able to kind of settle in, take a deep breath, and be I've been here before, and so just using that as a confidence booster when I get onto the court has just been something I've kind of already, felt going into the season.
You've got the chemistry with VK and everybody's back from last year. Mm-hmm. How have you and Morgan been working together to get that chemistry going?
Yeah, a lot of extra reps in practice. I think even in the spring we worked really hard on what type of ball, what type of tempo that she likes, and so just that communication has been really good between us. And then also we love each other off the court, so that also helps so much whenever you're trying to create that connection on the court.
We talked about this last year, but you have so many options. When you go to set a ball, you've got so many weapons that you can use. How does that sort of develop in your mind, or does it just depend on the play or the ball, or just what is it that makes that click?
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling as a setter, and being I can set anyone right then and there and know that they'll be able to put the ball away. But I think it really comes down to kind of the situation going on the other side of the net, what blockers are at the net and what can I run with my hitters to put them in the best position possible to kill the ball. And so just kind of looking at the defensive side and being able to kind of think about what play or who do I want to run in this moment, so then I can hopefully get our team a point,
Talked about how there was kind of a battle last fall going into the season. Was there a point in the off season or maybe in the middle of the season where you kind of started to click for you and you realized, okay, this I'm here for a reason, I'm the starter for a reason. Was there a moment for you in particular, do you remember?
I don't think there was ever like a moment specifically, but I think, every single day is a battle, and so that's kind of how I kind of go for it in my head, just that the drive is in me. But I think getting into SEC play and, moving into postseason play, just being able to take a deep breath and use that confidence from the beginning of the season, like, hey, I'm here, I've been here, my teammates believe in me, and, just going out there and doing the best that I can every single day.
Roster retention is kind of becoming more and more rare in college athletics. Not for you all, though. I guess, did you all have any conversations when the season ended of like, hey, let's run it back? Or how did that all play out for you all in the offseason of figuring out that you wanted to come back?
Yeah. No, I think I love this team. I love this program. And so it was never a doubt in my head. Like, I wanted to play here. And so I just want to, be the best teammate that I can be. And so coming back for another year, I was hungry and I wanted more.
Do you feel like there's an added level of chemistry having most of the core pieces back?
No, for sure. I think it's awesome. Not many people can say that majority of their team is back on the court. And so being able to have that many people come back, it's a huge advantage for us. But, just being able to continue to work every day, pushing each other to be their best will be super important.
Is this the best team you've ever played on?
Best team I've ever played on? Yeah, it is. It is, for sure.
There's no such thing as too much talent, right?
No, not at all. Not at all.
How do you see that all coming together? Craig was talking about making sure that all the individual parts are making all the other parts better. Where do you see your role in that?
Yeah, I think if I can just go out every day and put my head down and be the most consistent player that I can be, and my teammates can rely on me, I think as a setter that's super important, because I hope that my hitters know what ball they're getting every single time. And so just be able to come out and do my job to the best of my ability will just make everyone around me better.
You're kind of like the point guard, right?
Yeah, some will say, for sure.
Okay, what about like psychologically? If you see your teammates getting discouraged, is it up to you to kind of pump them up? And how do you do that? You just rah-rah?
I think there's a lot of players on our team that kind of, we'll go up to one another and be like, hey, like, you can do this. So I think also myself, like, I want to be that person that I can go up and, do the same for others, but then they can do the same to me. So I think just being able to, if someone is down or something, like, being able to give that confidence to them and be like, hey, I'm going to set you this ball right here and you're going to get a kill and I believe in you. So I think something like that is super important when we get out on the court.
Craig said before you all walked in that you guys are learning how to lead and learning how to follow. What has that process been like for you? What does that exactly mean?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of leadership already on this team with these seniors. That's just something where I've been trying to look for my role in here. So just getting in there, getting on the leaders, stuff like that, and then just being able to, whether that's physically putting the ball away or stuff like that, or talking in groups and getting everyone on the same page. I think the leadership here is super, super strong. I think everyone's on the same page, so that's something that kind of makes us stand out from other teams too.
You're one of 4 players to be named to the ABCA preseason National Player of the Year watch list. What does that preseason honor mean to you, and then also what does it mean for Kentucky to have the most of those honors in the country and be alongside of all of them?
Yeah, I think it shows a lot of respect. It's obviously a really good pat on the back, but kind of at the end of the day, doesn't mean a whole lot. I think there's a lot to prove this season, just to get in there, play with the girls, and I think it's great that a lot of girls on Kentucky made that, and just shows how much talent we had, and being able to put that all together is going to be really special this year.
One of those is Brooklyn, obviously. What's it like playing alongside her?
Yeah, it's amazing. I knew she was a great player, came in. Her volleyball IQ is just insane. She can find a lot of different ways to score, so that's something I've been kind of learning from her. It's been really cool. She's a great player and super fun to play with.
Where has this program already exceeded your expectations coming in?
I think in every category. I think the biggest thing is everybody's on the same page. We all have the same goal in mind. Between athletic trainers, between our strength coach, which I think is something that's been a big difference for me. I think we've added to our verticals, gotten bigger, faster, stronger. That's really cool. And then just the systems. Everyone's on the same page, working with setters, working with hitters, bros. So that's really cool.
Craig seems to kind of have this live in the moment mindset, not thinking about tomorrow or yesterday, and similar to what you said, you're not worried about the list. It's cool to be on, but how has that helped you grow? Was Craig like kind of this live in the moment mindset? Was it like on the team?
Yeah, I think everyone is super mindful. I think especially during this preseason, during 2-a-days, you could be thinking about, oh, well, I don't feel too good today for this session, but I have another session. But just living through each and every point, and then just doing whatever you can for your team to score and to just go next play. So that's been really cool.
To play up at Wrigley to start the season, how cool is that going to be?
That's going to be so cool. I think it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I think it's just going to be fun to get out there, show people what we can do and play together. I mean, it's amazing. I'm super excited for it.
The Louisville match is going to be on ABC. Have you gotten the rundown of the Kentucky-Louisville rivalry? Just exactly what it means?
I have gotten the rundown of the rivalry. It's going to be a really fun game. I think just with how competitive our team is, it's so fun to play, just same state, and then just the rivalry between us is super fun.
What are your impressions playing with someone like a Kassie O'Brien, who's young but obviously won that national freshman of the year?
Yeah, Cassie's unbelievably talented. I mean, coming in here, we had to figure out a lot of stuff between me switching to the right and her getting that tempo down. So just the communication between us has been really, really cool. We're on the same page now, so I'm really excited to play with her.
You mentioned switching positions. What's been the steepest learning curve going from the outside to now playing on the right side?
Yeah, I've been playing outside since I was probably like 12 years old. So switching over there, just different angles, different work from the setter, finding different ways to get kills. So that's something I've been working on a lot, and just finding different ways to get points on that side.
Did you kind of follow the Kentucky program from afar at all, or I guess what did you know about them before they began recruiting you?
Yeah, I watched a lot of their games. I mean, when I entered the portal, I'd say they were at the top of the list for sure in there, and then just after the discussions with Craig, I felt really comfortable here. But I mean, they're just a super competitive group, and that's something I really wanted to be a part of. I knew they would push me every single day, and I wanted to be in that type of environment.
You obviously are no stranger to tough competition, but this non-conference schedule and the way that Craig always sets it is tough. What are your feelings towards that? I'm sure you're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I think ABCA is going to be amazing. I think there's so much talent between those teams, and then just it's our first, pretty much after the exhibition game, first game of the season. So I think that's really cool, and I think having a tough schedule is going to help our girls work together and just be really good this year.